So I'm a university academic, and I'm going to be talking about some research that in the parlance has non-academic impact. Adding value to brands with emoji. So what I want to do is start by talking about Andy Murray, of all things. And in 2011, Andy married his girlfriend, Kim Sears. There's Murray. There's Kim Sears. And as is common with today's celebrities, he sent his followers a wedding day message. But, get this, what got tongues wagging, making headlines in the process, was that the message was made up entirely, it was a tweet made entirely of emojis. And what's interesting about this is we can see here the preparations. He's describing the journey, the day, the wedding day. So the preparations, the taking of the vows, the after ceremony partying, the drinking, the dancing, the singing, and the consummation, presumably, of very important part of the day of the wedding vows. Now, today, really, honestly, emojis are everywhere. The New York subway system, for example, has introduced a system using emoji to advise passengers of the status of particular subway lines. And some of us probably can empathize with the face here on this particular line. And a British magazine responded in kind, as we would expect and hope, by producing an emojified London tube map. There it is. Some of you might recognize some of these places. Here's the angel, for example. And Facebook, of course, has now famously also got in on the act. Those of you who use Facebook will be aware of this. Decisions with the new reaction emojis. And even an institution as noble and august as the BBC has become involved. So every Friday, for example, BBC Radio 1's Newsbeat webpage posts the news in emojis. So here is a headline from last year, and there are 3 choices, answers on a postcard, please. So first off, 4 climbers find what they think is a dodo chicken egg, but it's not. The bird has been extinct for 450 years. Is it that? Or is it 1 in 4 people don't know the dodo's extinct to poll fines? Or 4 children win a science competition to genetically recreate the dodo? Can I just get a sample of hands? Who thinks it's number 1? Just a few of you. Number 2? Ah, the 2s have it. There we are. Very good. And even literary classics aren't immune. So Alice in Wonderland has been translated into incredibly emoji. Amazing, isn't it? There it is. And in case you can't quite make that out, this is the first couple of lines of Alice in Wonderland. So this is what the first sentence looks like. And what is the use of a book, thought Alice, without pictures or conversations? So how widespread is emoji as a system of communication? It comes from the picture character. From the Japanese. Emoji obviously is a glyph embedded as a discrete character in digital keyboards. They've only been available globally since 2011, and there are around 1,300 officially sanctioned. There is a consortium, the Unicode Consortium, that approves these things based in California. There are around 1,300 officially sanctioned. Now, just to give you a sense of comparison in terms of the reach and uptake of emoji, let's think about English, which is the global language. English has 335 million speakers. In terms of second language users, 505 million. And it's the primary or official language in 101 countries. It's the global lingua franca. It's on a plane above any other language in the world. But emoji leaves English in the dust in terms of uptake and usage. And this is, get this, just since 2011. There are 2 billion smartphone users in the world today. There are 41.5 billion, exactly, SMS messages sent on a daily basis. 6 billion emojis are estimated to be sent via SMS every day. And since April 2014, when Twitter introduced emojis on that platform, it's been estimated that 114 billion emojis have been posted have been tweeted. In the UK, there are 42.4 million smartphone users, and 80% of adults regularly send emoji. So, being a visual form of representation, emojis are universally and often instantly recognizable, but sometimes they're not, of course. So what about emojis and brands? What then is the appeal of emoji? Well, it offers perhaps intuitively a great way for brands on a global scale, I think, to become part of the everyday conversations of people. They especially speak, of course, to younger users. The under 25 demographic is the most avid user group and the most likely group to recognize emojis. And using emojis allows brands ready and direct access to a new advertising venue, the digital medium. But first of all, we've just got to sort out some terminology. There's an important distinction to be made between emoji versus a sticker. So emojis, the way I'm using this term and the way it's generally used is these are the Unicode Consortium approved glyphs that appear as standard in your digital keyboard on your Android smartphone or your iPhone, or indeed on your tablet computer. A sticker, by point of comparison, is a bespoke emoji that users or companies can create, and brands looking to use their own or create their own emojis, what they have to do, these are called stickers, not emojis. What they have to do is partner with messaging apps so that they can become available. For example, they could be downloaded via iTunes or the Play Store on Google, for instance. Finland was the first country to do this, to brand itself for tourism purposes. And as you might expect, so we've got the his and hers sauna emojis. You can download these, by the way, if you wish to do so. There's the reindeer emoji. An alternative way to harness emojis, if you're a brand looking to do this, would be to advocate, as Taco Bell did, to campaign for a new emoji. So Taco Bell lobbied Unicode for a taco emoji to be added to its inventory. And cleverly, what it did was it ran a change.org petition. It got 30,000 signatures. And then after a proposal period, a taco emoji was added to the vocabulary of emojis. Pretty cool. So here are some strategies for building brand awareness using emojis. One is to link specific emojis to a brand, which is what Taco Bell successfully did. Another is to use emojis as part of an online ordering system. So Domino's Pizzas has done this. You can set up your own Twitter handle account that's linked to a Domino's ordering system, and you can tweet emojis. You can also SMS in the United States emojis and have a pizza of the particular kind that you're tweeting or messaging delivered to you. Another option is to set up bespoke emojis like Finland. So IKEA, Coca-Cola, and O2 are in the process of doing this. And I'm going to say something in a moment about a campaign that I'm helping to lead for O2, O2 Business doing this, that hasn't yet gone live, but will do so soon. Another strategy that brands can adopt is to intervene in the public debate and discussion, perhaps by educating the public about emoji usage. And this is what Talk Mobile has done. And there was a campaign last year that I was heavily involved in that regard. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. Another strategy, perhaps a final one, is to devise emoji translations of English to make communication easier. Barclays Bank has done this, and again, this is a campaign that I'll tell you a little bit about that I've been involved in. So first of all, O2 Business, what was the PR angle here? Well, the idea was to set up a study or present a study to the public, which I was involved in and led, which shows that 6 in 10 British workers have noticed the way in which they communicate in the workspace has become less formal. 4 in 10 Brits, we discovered, use emojis in work-related communication. But despite this trend, there are very few work-related emojis available. So this obviously provides a PR gap for O2 to create their own emojis and help the hard-pressed Brits who can't communicate properly without emojis in the workplace to have this new emoji vocabulary to enable them to do so. So 25 bespoke emojis have been created. They haven't yet been officially launched, but we're going to get a sneak preview. Here they are. So some of them are quite cool. Hot desk, deep dive, quick win, and so on. Think outside the box, one of my favorites. Are they cool? Coming to an iPhone near you fairly soon. Okay. Excuse me. And then I put together some top 10 tips. Do use emojis to nuance the meaning of your message. Do use emojis to avoid, this is very important by the way, especially in email, to avoid sounding like an angry jerk. Have you ever noticed the phenomenon? No matter how sane and rational the other person is, they always sound like an angry jerk when they send you an email. Emojis can help with this. Really, they can. Top 10 don'ts. Don't rush into an emoji relationship. Very, very important, especially in a business context. So there are some do's and don'ts. Okay, so that's coming up with bespoke emojis and giving yourself an edge, a business angle, a PR angle. What I want to do now is talk about TalkTalk Mobile. And what they did, very interestingly, and I led the educational, the research bit of this, was to intervene in the debate in terms of trying to help the public communicate more effectively using emojis. So this was the PR angle. This was from a campaign that we ran last May. So we started out similarly. New research shows that emoji is the fastest growing new language. 72% we found in our research, in my research, commissioned by TalkTalk, was that 18 to 25-year-olds find it easier to use emojis than words to express feelings in electronic communication. But, get this, over 40s, as one might expect perhaps, lack confidence when using this new visual language. So what we did was we sent emojis out and about on the town. There were some nice visuals used. We did some research to find out what the top 10 emojis were in the UK. And then we filmed a nice piece to help, a fun piece to help educate people that got a lot of PR traction and was covered electronically in most of the British national newspapers. Hello. I'm Viv Evans, Professor of Linguistics at Bangor University. Emoji is the fastest growing language on the planet. New research from TalkTalk Mobile reveals the rapid adoption of emoji, with 80% of us using the colourful symbols to communicate. So here are my top tips for getting to grips with emoji. Here are the most popular emoji. Emojis are like modern hieroglyphics, so consequently there are emojis that feature cats' faces. But these haven't been designed for when cats are texting each other. When breaking bad news to someone, emojis are probably best avoided. An upset crying face may not be the best way to break the news to the family that the dog is dead. When it comes to formal communications like applying for a job, it's probably best to stick to words. Distinguishing your laughing out loud tears from your upset tears may save you some embarrassment. Using emojis to convey anger can be a great way of avoiding stressful confrontations. Let the symbols do the talking. However, when it comes to significant anniversaries or marriage proposals, these are probably best done the traditional way. The 3 wise monkeys are some of the most popular emojis in use today. Often, these are used to convey embarrassment or to denote something being a bit cheeky. Always judge the mood before posting the poo emoji, even if it does have bright eyes and a friendly smile. Okay, so that got a lot of traction for a lot of coverage for TalkTalk. I think we had 20,000 hits in just over 24 hours after release. And as I say, massive coverage in the UK. That's a lot of fun. Now what I want to do is just, the final sort of case study is just talk to you very briefly about Barclays Bank and what I did with them. And here again is just to show you the PR angle, setting this up, framing this. What we did was we found that 40% of Britons find it talking about money more awkward than things like discussing relationships or even bumping into your ex in a supermarket, for example. And we also found that more than 30% of us would rather be out of pocket, incredibly, than ask for money back. And a fifth of, and this was using questionnaires and so on, a fifth of Brits have lost, it turns out, in excess of £100 in the past year for this very reason, which is quite a sizable amount of money. Nearly half, we also found, of young people said that emojis can make a conversation less awkward. So what we did, I'm the linguistics expert the Barclays teamed up with. What we did was they commissioned me to translate English phrases, common phrases, again, that we conducted research to establish in terms of finances, phrases that I translated into emojis, and then they used this as the sort of the central feature of their PR platform campaign. And here they are. One of my favorites, I'm broke, with the flying away money, wad of money emoji. And here's an emoji sentence, I don't want to split the bill evenly, I didn't eat or drink. And what I did was this is the lady with the arms crossed is the negation, the negative marker. This is the first person marker in emoji, so I had to provide the emoji system with its own grammar. Of course, emoji doesn't have a grammar, but now it has one. Split the bill, dark and light side of the moon evenly. This is a pause. Eat or paperclip is or drink. Okay, so that's the phrase. I don't want to split the bill evenly. I didn't eat or drink. So the take-home message from these three different case studies, just to recap before I give you the take-home message, what I did with O2 was have a sort of a research focus saying what was required. There's a gap in the market. We need business emojis to help people communicate more effectively in the workplace. O2 have then developed these. These were actually developed, the actual emojis were developed not by me, but by Swift Media, which is based in London. This campaign isn't live yet, but will be live soon. Then with Talk, we intervened in the debate and provided a video to help people communicate more effectively with emoji. And then with Barclays, it's a question of putting together sentences, English sentences, using emoji and selling these on to people as a way of being more effective in terms of financial communication and aligning this fun kind of approach with the brand, with the Barclays brand, fairly effectively. So what then is the take-home message? Well, I think really we can sum it up in two words: be creative. A brand doesn't need to be embedded in the digital sector or have a specific emoji like Taco Bell does to take advantage of emojis as a marketing tool. It doesn't have to have that. As any product, and I think this is really key, I've spent my career working on language and thinking about how we communicate and how language is just one part of the communicative process. As any product and brand is consumed by humans, by people, and as language is the tissue that connects us all, there are a multitude of ways to create a PR angle that views emoji, which is a communicative system and a new and exciting communicative system, to provide a new and brand-specific way of communicating. So what I would say to sort of conclude is think, how can I, as a marketing specialist, someone interested or engaged in brands and branding, how can I leverage digital communication to create a space for a conversation about my brand, harnessing in some way the new system of communication that is emojis? Thank you very much.